bring up the question, are there many good managers out there compared to what there used to be? There seems to be a couple of top drawer managers, and the rest, I don't think they're up to standard. Neil, discuss.
Yeah, it's kind of fashionable, isn't it, now to bring in a guy from abroad, be it a guy that cut his teeth in Italy or Spain, or a guy that, you know, has had success elsewhere, and then you go, right, that's the next guy. But the top managers, I was actually, Jurgen Klopp is 6 years now at Liverpool this year. I couldn't believe that he's there at the 6 years already. But like top manager, absolutely. Mourinho for his time, I think he might have passed now, but Pep, then you've got like Ancelotti, Hansi Flick. There's a few of these guys. They're very, very rare. They're very, very rare. And the fact that they can bounce from club to club and walk in and they have that aura about them, it's even rarer. It's a tough business to be in. It's a results-based business. You need to be backed. You need financial clout. You need, all the things pulling in the right direction. The Premier League has just become the money whore now, and everyone is going there because of the money and the players and the package that it comes from with Sky. So you're going to get less and less of your Graham Potters and less, of these type of guys, because it's not fashionable to have a Graham Potter in the dugout. Like, when Graham Potter go into Chelsea, he probably has the same pedigree as Lampard, better than Lampard did, but he didn't get lucky enough, and he maybe isn't fashionable enough, and he doesn't have the right image for your club. And that, unfortunately, scuppers, like the comment there saying, these guys that used to come up through the ranks at the clubs, be it their underage teams, and then kind of that was their rite of path. So you'll see less and less of it, because football is a game now where it's a results-based business, and it costs too much to get sacked to drop down and get relegated. So they're maybe less willing to take a risk on a manager that hasn't fully proven himself or doesn't have that pedigree and track record.
Dave, you kind of touched on it earlier. Noel's after touching on it. Neil's kind of just touched on it there. The fact that managers are getting, I suppose, less and less results, maybe less time, is it because they're not learning their trade now? That they're getting thrown into these big jobs? There's not enough, I suppose, apprenticeships out there where you go into the lower league teams. Or, I mean, you look at Vieira. Vieira's after going over to America. He's got experience. He's gone to France then. He's got experience. He seems to have gone the right way about it before he went into the Premier League. Pirlo just jumped into the Juventus job and made a hames of it. Now they're talking at Barcelona that Xavi is probably going to be the main man if Koeman gets sacked. Seems to be the exact same thing. So is that the problem, that they're not learning their trade?
1,000,000%. And that's the whole point. And you're not getting the time. Like, if you look at, like, Guardiola earned the Spurs, pardon the pun, with the B team, and kind of learned what they want to do and kind of marry up. Like, Klopp has had 6 years at Liverpool. There's no surprise that Liverpool eventually got going. I'm looking at the rise of the Premier League there that's beyond BBC over the last few weeks. Look at 6-7 years it took Ferguson before he got going. Like Arsene Wenger, look at the longevity he had. Like, 6 months. What? Like, I don't even think, like, it's not even a year now is the life expectancy of a manager in the Premier League now. It's something crazy. It was a year and a half, 2 or 3 years ago. So, you look at Lampard. No one's talking about him at all. You could almost get a job. You can almost claim his career is over. Gerrard's one bad move away from being forgotten, because they're not even talking about him all, at the moment again. But obviously he's the next in line for Liverpool. I wouldn't touch it if I was him straight away. I'd still go off maybe, because he comes in and you're coming in after Klopp. Well, no matter what he's done, he's after bringing the Champions League and the league back. He has a bad season and he's fifth. He's gone. And all of a sudden, the Scottish League, and there's another one gone. It's nuts nowadays. The manager merry-go-round is almost worse. Chairman, it's a business nowadays. There's no kind of loyalty. There's no kind of nurturing. There's no building it up. It's get in there, get them up as high as you can, and get me as much money as you can, because that's what it's really all about. And stature, like, they're literally playing with each other, like the likes of your Paris Saint-Germain and Man City. They're rivals in countries and rivals in everything. So that's all this is. They don't really care whether they win the domestic league. They just want to win the Champions League over each other. So that was a derby in a weird way that many people mightn't realise during the week, because behind the scenes, that's what it's about to them. They don't give a crap who's coming up through the ranks. You look at City, they're nearly as bad as Chelsea with the farming system. It's just to make money up for their real transfers, because that's what Chelsea do it for. It's to fund the extra few quid to really try and bring in your Lukaku's and think, because you're selling 40 and 50 million quid's worth of talent that really they could be saving 200 or 300 million's worth. And that's how the game has gone. Like it's sickening. Like, but it's just to go back to what we were really talking about, the managers. Yeah, no one's learning their trade, and they're afraid the gap is so big. I'm not going down to League Two to learn me trade or League One because I'll be forgotten. Because Neil said it, the image. It's all about this image and fans. Like I said, what clubs were they with? Oh, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Oh, get him. Like, who's Osterson? No, I don't want him. He's not good enough for Liverpool, or he's not good enough for Man United or Man City. That's the way it is, unfortunately. And it was a long-winded version, but you're bang on the money. No one earns an apprenticeship anymore, and that's probably why Vieira has cleverly come in at the right time, and he has a chance, but he still could be head up and spat out just as quick.